baby.
Were you busy?
No. Why are you whispering?
Eric is asleep on my lap.
Still not sleeping in his own bed, huh?
It depends on the night.
When you were a baby, you went right down. All you needed was that bunny and your blanket and you were out.
Oh, Mr. Green.
You remember?
How can I forget? He had those big brown eyes and that fluffy white tummy. I used to love that bunny. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. I think we lost him during the divorce. I was so furious with your father. I probably threw it away.
Ma.
I don't think it was intentional. I had my little Angela Bassett waiting to exhale moment. I didn't burn stuff in the driveway, but there may have been piles on the street.
You never told me that.
I probably shouldn't be telling you now.
You okay?
Probably a little too much wine, baby. That's the thing about living alone. Most nights it's just you and a whole bottle.
Ma, you shouldn't be drinking a whole bottle of wine alone. What if you fell? Chris and I are both 2 hours away.
Maybe you should get me life alert. Remember those old commercials?
I do.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Poor old bros. Probably too much wine.
You are definitely feeling the wine.
Oh, maybe.
Listen, before I forget, we're driving by Davion's parents' house tomorrow to celebrate his father's birthday. I wanted to drop off some banana pudding.
What? Sweet of you.
Well, you know how much his father means to him. I had Eric make him a big birthday sign. We traced his handprints on it, and he made stick figures of the whole family.
You got to send me a picture.
I will. We're going to hang it on the car when we stop by. With everything going on, we still don't feel safe going inside. Davion's brothers and cousins should be stopping by too. We may blast a little music, let the kids dance around outside the car with masks on, of course.
That's smart. Both his parents have health issues, right?
Well, high blood pressure.
You sure you should be making them banana pudding? His father was looking a little thick in the waist last time I saw him.
Ma, it's for a special occasion. Besides, he liked it so much when you made it for Eric's birthday last year.
He sure did.
Why'd you say it like that?
No reason. Just thinking how much he raved about it.
That's why I want to make it. Can you text me the recipe? I couldn't remember whether you use brown or white sugar.
Brown, but only to caramelize the bananas. That's the secret. I should probably start writing all these recipes down.
That's a good idea.
Though, with all these grandsons and no granddaughters, I don't know who's going to use them.
The boys can use them. Chris's oldest made those little pizzas on New Year's, remember? I think he likes to cook.
You mean those little nasty things with all that cheese?
He tried, Ma. Besides, between Eric and Chris's boys, I am sure one of them will have an interest.
It's a new day, I suppose.
Imagine that. Boys cooking, boys cleaning. They may actually make good partners one day.
You know, your dad used to like that too.
Cooking?
No, God, no. The only way your father set foot in the kitchen was to eat. I mean, he used to love that pudding. I used to have to make it for every birthday, every holiday, every good day, every bad day.
You did.
I sure did. I remember the first time I made it for him. He had just gotten a promotion at work. When we got home, I made him with a plate, and it was still warm and looked like a gooey, hot mess. He sat right down and ate it up. He practically licked the plate. And when he was done, he got up and wrapped his arms around me, and you know what big arms your daddy had. Held me so tight and buried his face in my neck. He said, "I love you, Ann." Just like that. You know, your dad wasn't big on saying it.
That's sweet, Ma.
I guess. I was a good wife, you know, once upon a time. All that stuff you do for Davion, I did that for your dad.
I know, Ma.
I remember the last time I made the pudding for him, too. It was Chris's 5th birthday. And we were celebrating, just the 4 of us. We were finishing up dinner. Chris was gnawing on that chicken bone. You know how he used to do that.
He still does that.
And I was trying to feed you sweet potatoes, but you were giving me such a hard time. You kept dipping your hands in the bowl and rubbing the potatoes all in your hair and your face. So finally, I dipped my finger in the bowl too and took a big lick. You and Chris just exploded in laughter. I dipped my finger in again and said, "Does Daddy want some too?" We all looked over at your dad, expecting him to laugh at the sight of us covered in sweet potatoes. Instead, he grabbed a napkin and tossed it in my direction. "Jesus, Ann, clean her up," he said. He got up and walked away, like he was genuinely disgusted by us. It was such a sweet moment, and he made it feel so, I don't know. He made a fool of us. I forgot the banana pudding was in the oven. It wasn't until your brother said he smelled something burning that I even remembered I was cooking it. Not long after that, I found out about all the women.
I'm so sorry, Ma.
Hey, it was a long time ago. I was young and in love, as they say. I'll tell you one thing, though. You couldn't pay me to make banana pudding for any man now. Well, other than my grandsons. Where's Davion?
Downstairs in his man cave. He's been binge watching that Michael Jordan documentary.
He doesn't help put Eric to bed?
We try to take turns, but most nights Eric just wants me.
You know, you can't get in the habit of leaving him alone like that.
Ma, we're in the middle of a quarantine. I doubt I have to worry about him being alone in our basement.
Men will find a way.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
You think maybe you should put the wine away for the night?
I am more than capable of knowing when I've had enough.
Okay, understood. I should probably go get a head start on the banana pudding anyway.
You making it tonight?
It's the only time I have. Working with Eric home has been impossible. If I'm not in a meeting, I'm running after him. The house is a mess. I've been eating horribly. This whole thing has been crazy.
Davion hasn't been helping?
Yes, Ma, it's still hard. Why do you always assume Davion's not doing his part? It's like you want something to be wrong with us.
Don't be dramatic, Courtney. I may be divorced, but I was married long enough to know it isn't a paradise. Your dad.
Davion is not Dad. Do you know how hard it is constantly living with the burden of your failed marriage?
You been drinking too?
No, Ma, I'm just tired. I have my own fears, my own worries. I don't want yours too.
You said you had to go make that pudding, right?
Ma, I'm sorry. It's just hard. Okay? Davion, his parents have been married 32 years. Of course, he's not perfect. No one is, but he's not constantly looking over his shoulder like I am. Sometimes I feel like I'm waiting for him to mess up. I feel like I'm waiting to find out about other women or a bunch of well-kept secrets. When he tells me he loves me, my first thought is, why? I can't trust it. We've been together close to 10 years, and I can't trust that he loves me. You know, I've been tucking money away since we got married, just in case. I have a whole bank account my husband doesn't know about because I'm afraid he'll leave me. Do you know how crazy that feels?
Sounds smart to me. It's always good to have something on the side.
No, it's not a nest egg, Ma. It's an escape plan because I don't trust that what we have will last.
Again, that sounds like good planning to me. I don't care how many years you put in, how in love you are, how well you think you know each other. You never know what a person is thinking. The other shoe can always drop.
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm serious, Courtney. I used to be dumb and naive.
So now I'm dumb.
Oh, okay. It's time to go.
That sounds like a good idea. Can you text that recipe?
You got it.
Good night.
Good night.
Hello?
I'm just reminding you to get heavy whipping cream for the topping. Don't use the stuff in the canister. Throws the whole taste off.
I got it.
Look, I love Davion. You know that. When I say I used to be dumb and naive, what I mean to say is I used to feel weak. You know, the day I decided to leave your father, you had a dance recital? I completely forgot about it too. I just started working part-time at the bank and had this old witch of a boss who used to make me count my money twice before I could leave. Anyway, all I could think about was picking you and your brother up from school. I didn't even remember you had the recital until halfway through dinner. At that point, the show had already started. Somehow, we managed to make it 30 minutes in. At that point, I forgot your costume. Your brother was wearing dress pants that were too short, and my wig was on backwards.
Oh, no.
Your dad didn't show up. He said he had to work late or some BS excuse. Anyway, they heard you on stage just in time for you to do your little solo. When it was all over, I barely made it to the car before I burst into tears. I was just feeling so sorry for myself, you know? I was mad at your dad for not being there. I was mad at my mom for dying before I had kids. I was mad at my boss for being such a jerk. It was like someone had turned on a faucet. The pity soaked me up. I couldn't wipe the tears fast enough.
I think I remember that. That's the only time I've seen you cry.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of myself in the side view mirror and was mortified. Here I am, hysterically crying in the parking lot, wig on backwards, with 2 kids in the back seat. I knew then I needed to get it together. You didn't need a mess of a mother. I thought, no one is coming to save me. Not my husband, not my parents, not a friend, not Denzel Washington. No one.
You were waiting on Denzel?
Girl, it was the 90s. We was all waiting on Denzel. Courtney, I carry my mom's pain too. But that pain, her trauma, became my wisdom. She left South Carolina with $10 and a bus ticket and somehow managed to make a life for me and my brothers and sisters in Philadelphia. No one gave her anything, not even my father. That day, in the car after your recital, it was her voice I heard telling me no one was coming to save me. I couldn't afford to believe in some fairy tale. Women like us don't get fairy tales.
Why does happiness have to be a fairy tale?
Because this is real life, Courtney.
There are people in healthy relationships in real life. There are people who can trust each other, who respect each other, who don't intentionally hurt each other. You know what Davion did before he went down to the basement? He cleaned the kitchen. Then he left my favorite mug out with a tea bag in it so he can make me a cup of tea and talk to me about my day when I finish putting Eric to bed. Davion isn't perfect. He pees with the door open, and sometimes he's too stubborn to listen to good advice. But he loves me, Ma. He makes me feel like he's lucky to be a part of this family, like he won some prize that other men didn't. like me and Eric are his prize. I'm so sorry you never had that. I'm so sorry Grandma never had that. Why can't you just be happy that I do?
Well, you'll be fine then. Look, I know you have a few hours before the baby will be waking you and Davion up. Don't forget to get granulated white sugar to make the cream with. That fancy cane sugar you buy will take too long.
I got it.
Call me tomorrow. Let me know how it turns out.
I will. Have a good night, Ma.
You too. And Courtney,
Yeah?
enjoy your tea.